One of the things about a location in a world where there's seasons is you've always got a deadline. So today's the first day of spring here in New England. The snow is starting to melt. It's actually a warm day. It might hit 50. So what are we thinking of? Well, thinking of washing the salt off all of the vehicles and bikes and everything that have been riding on the roads and gathering up salt. There's always a deadline. If I don't take the stakes out now, as the ground thaws, they're gonna fall out. If I don't start cleaning up the yard before the grass starts growing, well, then the grass isn't gonna come in well. It's not a good place for procrastinators. Because there's always a deadline and the seasons always come. But man, oh man, isn't the change of seasons beautiful? And just the fact that our weather changes so drastically from day to day, even hour to hour, means that you gotta make hay when the sun shines. Or in this case, you gotta roast coffee. But there's a dark side, a gray snow, if you will, which feeds into our rivers and then down into our lakes. What is it? The dreaded mud season. It heaves up our roads. It delays our wood and oil deliveries and is, in general, a goopy, muddy mess. But the cold nights and warm days have an upside, a sweet side, maple syrup. Yum.
And this is the third year that I've been tapping,
And you use the same taps year, so you drill new holes.
Same taps, but drill new holes. So
do you fill them in or anything afterwards?
Nope, they stop. They just fill in naturally and heal right over, and just drill the hole through there with my
that's great.
drill bit.
And it keeps all the stuff from falling into it.
It helps it if it's raining, you don't get as much water. I mean, you still get a little bit that kind of slides down the tube into it, but I tried a couple of things the first time. I tried just bungee cords, and those will just roll, and even a string will will just roll down the tree with the weight of it. So the black bungee cords work the best. I was missing a couple this year, so I tried a web strap, and it worked.
That works, yeah.
And that's your sugar maple. See how it's got such a sharp, I mean, you could probably draw blood with that. It's so sharp. Look at the red maple when you get out in the back, and that one's got a real round bud. It's completely different. I know you can tell by the bark, I'm not as good on that. The buds are easiest, and see these ones are kind of more of a brown color.
Right.
And those ones are more of a red color on the red maples. Huh. We went on maple syrup weekend. One of the places that we went to, I can't remember which one it was. He had a brand new little sugar house, and he says, yep, this is brand new this year. He says, before I was doing it in my backyard out of a turkey cooker. And I'm like, what? And so talk to him a little bit about it, and then get out of there and start looking it up on the phone, how to make maple syrup out of a turkey cooker. And we had won second place, I think, for a light decorating contest here in town. So we got a piece of gift card as the prize. So we had that in hand. We went down to Runnings and bought the turkey fryer and paid for it with the card. Basically, we had almost no money invested in it, and we went down to Agway and bought the taps and just a little section of hose, just enough that I could put into each jug.
Like 15 cents.
Yeah. We will go down from 6 gallons of sap, we'll end up with 1 pint of syrup.
So that's this setup. So you boil over here.
Yep. I'll hitch up once this starts to boil down, and I've probably boiled down maybe a gallon. I start heating it up in a little tea kettle, and then I just add it one tea kettle at a time.
And then you finish it off on the stove to bring it down?
Either finish it on the stove or finish it out here on the hot plate, either way. You don't want to pour it in cold, because if you pour it in cold, you'll lose the boil, and it makes a lot of sugar in your maple syrup. Put the cover on.
So I like this setup. Keep the wind from blowing the heat away.
Yeah, because it'll take a lot longer to boil if you don't have a little windbreak here. The colder it is and the windier it is, the longer it takes to get to the end. And I start with the cover on it just to get it to that boil quicker. And then once it starts really steaming like this, then the cover comes off for the rest.
Not too far from Troy, New Hampshire, where Mike's backyard operation was, is Morning Star Maple in Dublin, New Hampshire. This is a little bit bigger. The sap collection in this giant truck, the storage tanks outside up here in stainless steel. This is what it could grow to. Mike, maybe you'll be here someday.